Welcome to Yep Yeah Yes with Marissa and Tamika. Today we're going to be talking about betrayal. What hurts more? But first, in the words of Julie Chen Moonves, host of Big Brother and Celebrity Big Brother, former host of The Talk. Marissa, how are you?
Oh my god. What?
Because Julie Chen always says "but first" on Big Brother, and they always, whenever she says it, they hashtag it because she always said it before hashtag.
Got it.
And now it's like she don't even realize she say it that much.
But first.
But first.
Okay.
But first.
I'm
how
good.
are you, Marissa?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good.
How's your cough?
It's actually starting to come back a little bit more. I think because the allergies and stuff like that. So, I'm gonna have to get myself reevaluated. But
Okay.
Right. How about you? You good?
I'm good.
Feeling okay?
I'm exhausted
You seem a little
today.
sleepy.
I am very, very just tired, sluggish, lethargic.
You want to talk about it?
No, I'm not depressed or nothing.
No, it don't have to be. It don't have to be about depression. It can just be about maybe when you talk it out, you can realize there's certain things that you need to cut out of your life that are bringing you down. Not depressed.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm definitely feeling some right now.
Okay.
Definitely feeling.
Just not ready to share it with the world.
I will. I'm just trying not to, drive a whole big bus yet. But I've been cleaning and organizing and just because I'm so angry on the inside, but more with myself. Yeah.
See, okay, we went from tired and sluggish to I'm angry.
I'm angry on the inside. But you know how that just takes up so much of your energy?
You know what also takes up a lot of energy? Being so happy all the time. Ain't nobody got time to be happy. You ever see somebody that's super happy life is good? Mm-hmm. Life ain't that good. Life is good. I mean, I'm happy to be alive, and participate in the lives of my friends and family. But, life ain't good every day. Some days it's I want to stay in the bed and cover my face.
Okay.
Anyway, betrayal. What hurts more? So I was thinking about this topic because last week I was watching Strahan and Sarah, and they were talking about this topic, betrayal. Mm-hmm. Specifically, if your best friend and your husband sleep together, who are you more upset at? The best friend or the husband? So you have both. Mm-hmm. You're in a unique situation where you have both.
Right.
Full disclosure, your dude is nice, he's cool and everything. He's just not,
Yeah, I know he's not your cup of tea.
I mean, but sometimes when you sleep with somebody, it ain't even about them being your cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just you have a weak moment.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm weak, but I ain't that weak. I just, I'm not on that level of betrayal. Even if you passed away, mm-hmm. I'm not trying to step in and be new mommy.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
There are people, you always hear these stories.
I went to school. So this guy, Simon, I went to school with, he had a brother who was 10 months older, and they had different mothers. So the story goes, and I'm like, Simon, I don't understand. Your dad, so he had 2 older half siblings. His older brother was 10 months older than him. The mother of the 10-month older brother, mm-hmm. she died, who happened to be the sister of Simon's mom. I'm like, wait a minute. Your mom, you're 10 months apart. Your mom married her sister's husband. Y'all are 10 months apart. He's like, well, yeah. I'm like, you don't see nothing? And he's like, well, no.
I don't see nothing wrong.
Well, there was a lot wrong with it. But they were only 10 months apart, and they were sisters. Mm.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
Blech.
So anyway, what in your opinion, mm-hmm. what's worst?
The best friend.
The best friend. And go into that.
Because, my dude has a position. I like him and everything, and I love him. Of course, we have a life together and all that stuff. But there's things that you do with your best friend that you I just could never have these conversations with my husband. Not that I can't. I don't want to. You and I have a way of speaking. We have our own dictionary. We have memories. We have history. There's things that while we discuss you're not ride or die, you got questions like why, where are we going, why are we dying? But at the same time,
you got a good memory. That's the other show.
That's the other show.
Archive.
But I just mean, like, that would hurt me so much. A friendship. Okay, full disclosure. So it's not that I don't value marriage. I do value marriage. My mom was married 3 times. My dad was married twice. And I've just been the type to just always believe that. No.
They always believe
to always believe that it's not that marriage doesn't has no value. Just I mean to say that I value friendship more.
Okay.
Okay,
I get what you're saying.
I don't think I'm wording myself correctly because I don't want to sound like I don't value marriage. I value marriage. I value mine. I value others. I respect others and mine. But a friendship, that deep connection, when you're lucky to have a friend like I have, like that sort of friendship that like, oh my gosh, you don't get that. Not a lot of people are blessed with that. But some people are blessed with multiple spouses. Like, you know.
Do you think it's, on a side note, do you think it's possible to have an amazing best friend, one person, best friendship, and an amazing husband?
2 separate people or the same person? 2
separate people.
Yeah.
You do? I don't think it's possible.
Amazing?
Because if that was possible, then that wouldn't be able to happen.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
But I don't think, okay, so I think that I don't think people are capable of putting that much stock in 2 people that really are not blood related and don't know you really from birth. I just don't think it's possible. Like I can't compare my relationship with my mother to my relationship with you, because the things me and my mother have gone through, ups, like truly downs, truly ups, are very different from relationships where you and our ups and downs.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that when you're in a relationship with your partner and your best friend, there are things that you tell your best friend that you don't tell your partner.
Right.
There's things you tell your partner that you don't tell your best friend.
Right.
However, I think that you're not going to tell them both and they're going to be equal and they're both perfect. You know what I mean? So where am I going with this?
I don't know. You're saying you can't have a perfect friend and a perfect spouse.
Right. Because if that was possible, I just don't, there wouldn't be a need to not tell one or the other. There wouldn't be needs for secrets, or not even secrets, just to not share. Like you started off saying, like there are things that you don't even want to talk to him about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he probably don't know that. He probably thinks we can talk about anything together, because that's how guys think. That he's probably you're my best friend. I'm sure he says you're my best friend. I tell you everything. Meanwhile, you're like, okay. Meanwhile, you're like, well, Tamika's my best friend, and I tell her, you know, I don't, whether you tell me everything or not, your idea of what a best friend is and his idea of a best friend are totally different.
Okay.
And your relationship works because you've given 100% of one part of you to one person and 100% of another part of you to another person.
Okay.
But those 2 relationships are not perfect. There's fallacies in them, in both. There's fallacies in the correct.
Right.
That's why I don't think it's possible to have a perfect friendship and a perfect marriage. You can't have both. If that's perfect, then what are y'all talking about? You know, a friend want to hear the dirt.
You know,
whether they, you know, it's just like, okay, everything can't be that perfect. You ever see on like social media, it's like my king, my man. You know, it's like, really?
Ew.
Yeah. And then you find out like they broke up. It's like,
I know.
It's like, really? I thought y'all was just on a mountaintop together.
You're just on a mountaintop.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he pushed you off, really? It wasn't that you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know. So when it comes to betrayal can only happen when the relationship isn't as perfect as you seemed that it would be. And the betrayal can be in any form. Like we're talking about, having an affair. Like I was reading when we were in preparation for this, the thing with Shania Twain. It happened years ago, where her ex-husband and her best friend, they're now married, I believe. Like, was she really your best friend?
That she was not. She was not.
He was your husband, but
she was not your best friend.
That's what I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But there's all kinds of levels of betrayal. Like, you can look at betrayal,
or like you're married, the spouse dies, and somebody comes up with a different will. Meanwhile, you're living in somebody's house.
That happened in my family.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why you brought that up? You forgot about that.
No, I remembered. I just wasn't I was just giving an example.
I don't have to say which member it was.
Yeah, but yes.
But yeah, that should happen.
Or when you go to the bank, come to find out you ain't got no money, but he does.
Ain't that some shit?
My God.
I don't know. But the thing about it, is betrayal. Like, I think the ultimate betrayal is if he goes and has a kid. Like, that's most recent. We just talked about this last week with Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
Her dude had a kid. But the most famous, you know what too? Remember who was the most famous one that we know about is, oddly enough, Wendy was the biggest loudmouth about it. Up until even this year, she would put up a picture of the woman. I think the lady's name was
yes.
What was her name? Mildred the maid, with the Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver.
Come to find, but I gotta tell you though, her son looks exactly like him.
They have other kids,
my God!
And he's trying to be Mr.
Yeah, he's trying to be his dad, Mr. Universe.
Mr. Universe, yeah, like Mr. Wonderful.
He ain't wonderful. And homegirl was raising the baby with them and everything. Stood working there
But I'm looking at Maria Shriver kind of funny because
this kid looks just like your husband, exactly, really.
Was she just I'm not even going to acknowledge it?
I think, you know what my mom always told me, and this is so sad. This really speaks to why she was married so many times, I guess. When it gets sloppy, that's when you got to get going. People do things, but just be respectful.
Yeah.
And that's where it got sloppy.
Keep it.
This dude, not trick or treat, ding dong. Oh, you look exactly like Conan the Barbarian. You look exactly like Conan the Barbarian.
Exactly.
And you looking back.
He's gonna be in the sequel.
Seriously, that's what he looks like, right?
He looks just like.
Oh my word.
But
And now Wendy.
And then I had mentioned this last week, I think it was, where one of my cousins had 3 boys.
Yes.
And her man went out, had a baby, and he had a girl.
A little girl.
Can you imagine? As much as women try to be like, I don't want no girl. You have 3 boys, you want a daughter.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. I don't trust her. If she says that, I was like, why? Why you don't want a daughter?
Yeah.
You got 3 sons, you don't want a daughter? Really? Why? I'm looking at you crazy. But so we talked about that.
The worst is the dude who comes in like it's supposed to be nothing. Really? You were just babysitting, quote unquote, your kid,
right?
And you're gonna come back here like it's all? Are you?
So so that aside, we're talking about having relations, that kind of thing. Would you say that's the ultimate form of betrayal?
The ultimate, having a child outside of your relationship?
Your dude having a child. Okay, so we talked about 2 different things. Your dude having a child outside of the relationship. Or your dude
having a relationship
with your best friend. Are those, or is there something else? There's a lot of forms of betrayal. What's worse than that? I'm gonna speak on it. To me, the worst, and I don't have kids. You fuck with my kids. Sexually, any kind of, where you can change the trajectory of their thought, of their whole life. by a small,
their mere existence and just how the chemicals fire in their brain.
Right. Because you decided, you felt like you could betray their innocence. You could betray the relationship you have with their parent.
That's not a betrayal. That's some like, oh, listen.
It is a betrayal, but it's
no,
beyond. It's more than a betrayal.
That's more. I need to find a deeper word than betrayal, because that's one of those things that it's like, that shatters. That's such a shattering thing to do to someone. That goes beyond anything I could ever imagine.
What part do we all play in that, though? When it's not our kid, if we know about it.
Oh my gosh,
like
this is terrible.
You ever grow up and be like, oh, yeah, that's cousin such and he's a little too friendly with people.
Yeah.
Or that's uncle such and such, don't have him around your kid. Yeah. Just that alone, you're betraying the kid.
Yeah, that's enough to be like, why is he in the same space as your kid then?
Right. Yeah. Not even as your kid, as me. I don't want to be around. When do you stand up and say, you know what? I can't be around this person either. Knowing what he or she has done to other people that are not necessarily my children. Anything,
I'm doing that. I'm doing that currently.
Really?
Yeah, I'm doing that currently, and it's like just hearing you speak on that made me feel disgusted with myself.
Well, what part do you think you play in that? Are you betraying the person?
I'm betraying the person
that was
betrayed.
The victim, quote unquote.
Yeah, the person that they betrayed. I'm betraying myself. I'm betraying my children. I'm betraying my whole situation.
Just some food for thought. Is that worse though?
That's terrible. Yeah.
That's worse than your best friend sleeping with your dude.
Yeah, those are two grown adults. Those two people consented.
Right.
The only thing that you're fucking up is yourself. Yeah, me too. But like, I'm a grown woman. I'm gonna get my shit together. I'll keep going. But when you fuck up the chemicals of a child, their whole body, even to the like, do you ever meet someone where like, it's one of those things where like when they hear a door slam, they jump, and you're like, oh my god, you're so jumpy, you're annoying. Now take that and magnify it to somebody took away your innocence, to now everything that comes in contact with you. Somebody could be standing too close to you in line. Somebody could, say something the wrong way or touch you in a way that's like, it brings back a moment. That's no. There's
a lot of forms of betrayal that just, another one I thought of is the monetary betrayal. Somebody steal from you.
Oh,
it's just
I'm so stupid. Yeah.
Like it just really.
Yeah.
You like, and then they steal from you, and it can be money, it can be anything,
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And it just like nothing.
Like what?
And stealing.
You got it.
Can you steal a person? Not kidnap. Can you there's a certain people that we know about, friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 friends, and one of the friends was married. The other friend started having an affair with the friend's husband. The husband left the wife after numerous years. I'm not going to get into, because I might give it away. Left the wife after numerous years and started a relationship with the friend.
Yep.
And they're still together.
Yeah. Yep.
So do you think that friend stole him?
Yeah. Yes.
Can you steal something you never had?
Yes. That's the whole definition of stealing. It ain't yours to fucking begin with. You're taking something that's not yours.
No, can you steal something you never had? Like, I don't mean the person stealing. Like, okay, just
that's my dude, and some chick came in and took him from me.
Right.
Yes.
She can
fucking
steal.
yes.
Oh, you never had him. He willingly left.
Yes. Because would he have left had I not been the whole this situation ain't gonna work? I'm like, well, okay then. She knows how I am, so I'm gonna go this way. No, yes, absolutely, 10 times over, yes.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
I think about, I'll use my mom and my stepdad. Apparently, my stepdad was cheating on my mom. They were married, 10, 12 years, something like that? I can't remember now. And when it got sloppy, that's when she really found out.
Okay.
And he walked in the door like, did you go to the bank? And she's like, go to the bank. She wanted to.
Did you go to the bank? I don't understand.
He just walked in the door and like, oh, did you go to the bank? And she's like, did I go to the bank?
Right.
These were the like exact words. I'll never forget it because she also recorded it. And I was like, oh my God, how did you not punch him in the face? She's like, he would have stayed. He would have stayed had I not said the situation doesn't work. Because she's like, and this is what her definition of, so she says, men get comfortable. They don't want to move around. They just want you to understand their situation. So she's like, he would have stayed married to me and we would have still been in a relationship had I been okay with him having things on the side. Because she wasn't going to be the last.
Right.
He would have kept his cycle going.
Right.
Had I been like, well, okay then, mad for a little bit and been fine. But I said I wasn't, this situation's not going to work. You can't do this. You need to leave. And that was it. And he left.
Yeah. I don't know. It's betrayal is a very convoluted word. And like you said, there's no word for when you abuse children in whatever fashion that may be. There has to be a word stronger than that. However, for the purpose of today's podcast episode, that's what we're rolling with.
Yes, we're going to roll. Betrayal.
I think, in my opinion, obviously, I think betrayal of children is the ultimate worst, because I just think about my situation being a kid, 5 years old, and not being able, because I didn't have the mental capacity at that age to say, get off me. No, I didn't know how, you know what I mean? And you think about other little kids that are that age, and 10-year-olds, it's just like, how do you vocalize it?
Right.
It took me years to even be able to say it.
Yeah.
Even when I was 13 or so, and I was like trying to explain it to my mom and stuff, and I couldn't even say it and she's like, what are you trying to say? Like, you're not making any sense. But it's like, I'm a kid. I don't know how to express. It's like very uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the fact that someone else put me in a position where that's what's on my mind at 13.
Right.
At 5, at 7, 8, 9, 10, 16.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be.
At 45.
So, to me, that's the ultimate betrayal, because you robbed a child's life for however many years without therapy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then I think about you saw that recent thing that happened in Florida where the boy was being arrested and his phone fell out of his pocket, and his friend went to go pick it up, and the cop turned around, pepper sprayed him,
and beat
punched
the crap out of him.
He was like, well, he moved his hand. It was a reflex. You could tell it was a reflex. Like, he didn't want his head on the ground, and so he punched him in the face. And I mean, charges have been dropped against the kid, and we're supposed to, ring for joy. My feeling is that is betrayal. You betrayed, by doing that to that kid, you betrayed his confidence in what police officers are supposed to be there to serve and protect.
Yeah.
You reacted before. You reacted physically.
Right.
Before, like, aren't you supposed to, like? I don't know.
But it's so crazy to me, because when I look at that, there's so many people that are scared, and they have a gun.
Right.
And a badge.
Right.
And this is somebody who's just flat out scared. You're scared of a little boy.
And my thing is, like, what have you done to him now? I pray that his parents put him in therapy.
Yeah.
And
But now this is what was he, 17?
The
16?
Boy?
Yeah.
No, the kid was.
No, he's 13, right?
Yeah.
13. But now what happens when he's 23?
13 or 15, something like that.
But now what happens when he's 23, 33, 43?
Right.
He's always gonna have that conflict reaction, and he just so happens to be black, just so happens to be tall. So now what? Oh, you're threatened. You're threatened by a 13-year-old kid. You're threatened. He moved his hands. Really? You're just a scared dude with a badge and a gun.
Right.
That's flat out it.
But I feel like the betrayal sets in, because now you've forced this kid to grow up quickly.
Right.
And in the public eye.
Yep.
Like forever, it's gonna be like, where he's gonna, in 10 years, of where is he now story.
I think about my boys who on the spectrum of skin color. I don't know where they fall. They're 2 Puerto Rican kids. Dark hair, dark eyes, and a little bit of a tan. I don't know. However you want to perceive them. But I just think about them growing up in a world where you react, your body reacts, you're falling to the ground because you got pepper sprayed, and you put your hands up, then you're going to kick them in the face? Or when they ask you, like, the thing is, like, I also notice, you know, working in a school, you see how kids, now, I don't want to say they don't respect authority. It's just the way we're raising our kids nowadays. The conversation is a little bit different. I don't want to say they don't have respect. They don't know how to communicate.
I think kids are being taught to question everything.
Yes, but here's the thing, though. It's the way we question things. So sometimes, like, if I'm asking a child, hey, don't throw that rock. Why? What do you mean? Just don't throw the rock. Now, the way the conversations we have to do, listen, if you throw that rock, you might hit someone else, so please be careful. Oh, okay. But other people are not communicating like that. So we're not communicating effectively in the same ways. So while we're teaching our kids to question everything, so while they think they're just having a question, where you give a scared person a badge and a gun, I'm supposed to walk in a room and you're just supposed to listen to me. Actually, no the fuck I'm not. Actually, if you really want to get into all that, no, I don't have to speak to you. No, I don't have to give you my ID. I don't have to do any of that. To truthfully be honest. But if you want to be a scared adult with a badge and a gun and escalate the situation, now where do we go?
I'm glad you brought it back to that, because I was starting to think, like, I don't want to get into this murky situation where we're talking about kids being disrespectful and this, that, and the other, because that has nothing, that sounds like we're blaming the kid.
Absolutely not.
But no, but you see what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you start talking about the kids in your school and how they speak to adults and stuff like that.
It's just
that to me is saying you're questioning what the kids are saying. That has nothing to do, whether he said, "What are you doing?" or what. It doesn't matter. None of that warrants being pepper sprayed and beat to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that we're not getting into that area where it's like he should have never back talked or said anything, because that.
No, I would not.
I didn't know why. I wasn't sure why you were bringing that up.
The reason I brought that up is the way we communicate with each other. So the way a child now communicates with an adult is very different the way an adult communicates with a child.
Okay.
So it's a generational gap as well as a communication gap. The more we learn, you know, when you know better, you do better. So as I talk to my kids, for example, I give them more. It's not just me barking orders. I like having conversations with my kids, but I also want them to have reason. You know, common sense isn't so common. So sometimes when I say things to them, just for their own safety, hey, listen, if you throw that rock at the window, it's going to break, and what do you think's going to happen?
But this is what I'm saying. We're talking about...
But let me round out what I'm trying to say. So where a cop comes in, hey, don't throw that rock. Why?
Right.
Don't throw the fucking rock. But why?
Right.
Now you got pepper sprayed in the fucking face. You know, like, it's just we're communicating differently.
I understand that, and to me that's a totally different topic. But
cops are also being taught to communicate in, you go in, you bark an order, you have to make sure that crowd is controlled.
Right.
We're communicating very different. I
just think that, like, that whole thing with teaching kids how to speak to people and expectations is a totally different topic than being betrayed. Like, what this action did results in this kid's betrayal. It's betrayal of who he can become. Because now, because of this action and what happened, because so many people had their phones out and he's being recorded and he's on national news and all that stuff, that now his youth has been betrayed. He's being forced to live a life that he probably wasn't going to grow up living the day before, all because somebody pepper sprayed him and beat him in the face or whatever, you know what I mean? So to me is a form of betrayal on the end of the police officer and all of us, because we're sharing it, we're talking about it, and in a way, like, we're contributing to this betrayal. We're contributing to the betrayal of him, of who he's supposed to be, you know. And it's unfortunate. It's, you know, regardless of whether I don't know if he said anything. The cop said he had his arms in fists, but I'm like, if you look at the cop, it didn't look like he was looking at his hands.
No.
Like and his hands were by his side. So I just feel like the cop betrayed who this kid could potentially become. And hopefully, like I said, he goes to therapy. Parents, have the hindsight to send him to therapy and help him become, a good man, educated. Whether education is the key or not, that's another story. But I feel like that's another way that people can betray kids, and it kind of sucks. There's so many levels of betrayal, and when you start breaking them down, you're like, damn, yeah, that's kind of worse. Oh wait, no, this is worse. Oh no. But I still hold true to the fact that betraying a young kid sexually, molesting or rape or anything like that, you know what I mean? You hear about those stories a few years ago where the foster parents were starving the kids.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I just, and then it starts to, then you start thinking about, like, my best friend slept with my man. It's like, that's, like, stupid.
It really is, right? When you compare,
my ain't eating.
No, yeah. Like, that's a pineapple and an orange. Like, no, we're not even gonna compare the two.
Right. I can't even imagine. Like, that's crazy. Who does that?
Which one?
All of that. Anything involving children.
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I have no idea. Sometimes I find myself, I remember one day I was in a supermarket and I said something to one of my kids, but they were little, like maybe 4.
Right.
And this white lady said something to my kid. She didn't listen the first time I said it, but she was also like, she like reprimanded my kid. And I just looked at her in the face and I said, thank you, but I don't need help. And then it was one of those, like, I have no idea why she started talking. We don't know each other.
Right.
We didn't have
Mind
any
your business.
Mind your fucking business, number one. I'm going to deal with my kid the way I need to deal with it. My kid wasn't even acting out. I think it was like, in the beverage aisle sometimes, like when they're packing out, it's tight. And I think she was jumping around. I can't even remember. It was something stupid, but I asked her to not do it. And she didn't listen right away. And then it was one of those, I can't even, I don't even know. But this lady spoke to my kid.
Do you consider that betrayal?
To a degree, yes, because she, for a while, not on sexual level, obviously, I'm not comparing the two, but in a betrayal, yes, because now she's looking at strangers like, when they speak to me, they're going to reprimand me. First of all, she should have minded her fucking business, because I didn't need help. That's number one. Sometimes we all don't need, like, we don't need a shiro. It's not that sort of, like, my kid wasn't completely out of control. That's number one. And number two, like, I don't understand what she thought she was doing. I don't know how she felt she was helping.
Right.
But she wasn't. She betrayed what I was saying to my child. She can't usurp my authority to my child. She has no idea what the direction I was going to with my child. She betrayed not only the parental guidance.
I don't see that as betrayal. I see that as something totally different. Because y'all don't know each other like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I just don't. I see it as like she disrespect, mind her own fucking business.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like you betray. You know what? I don't know.
On the scale of betrayal, it's probably a 1.1.
Yeah,
not a 10.
Probably get another word for it.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. Like, when I looked up the definition of betrayal, and they said something to the extent of like betraying your country. So,
oh my gosh.
Something like you
no, she did not
to Russia, or Afghan. Whatever,
there was no collusion.
Yeah, there's no collusion. All she did was like think that she could reprimand your kid,
but she could not.
It wasn't. I don't know if that was betrayal.
But I also have issue. I will say this. I do take issue with other people speaking to my kids in a certain way.
Okay,
But that has nothing to do with nothing. I'm like.
You're in a really mood right now. You keep wanting to talk about your kids. Which is good, but I think we should have a topic because none of this had nothing to do with betrayal.
Because we're talking about kids. No, I felt like it was a betrayal of the situation.
Right. I mean, who am I to tell you what you should or should not feel betrayed about? I just personally don't think that's a betrayal, because But on the Richter scale, okay.
No Richter
we'll
scale.
We'll give it a 0.1. Anyway, let's transition, okay?
Yep. That's trending.
So. Speaking of relationships,
okay.
I wanted to talk about whether there has been a situation where the dynamic of one of your relationships have caused you to make a drastic change in another. This comes to mind because there's reports that the palace over in Europe,
across
England,
the pond,
across the pond, they may send Harry and Meghan to live in Africa because of the rift between Harry and William.
What kind of rift could there be? Like, really, what is going on?
They don't like her.
They don't like Meghan?
They don't like Meghan. And I mean, I don't know none of these, but when the reports come out, it seems like, okay, Kate has a problem with all the attention Meghan is getting right now, but it's gonna
pass. You know what? You know what's so funny? I feel like I don't know what it is to be a princess. I know that. I'm not in the limelight. I'm not in the tabloids.
You don't call you princess?
No.
You're the princess of your household.
Shut up. So
the princess of Long Island.
Ew.
Remember the princess of Arizona?
Yes.
Meghan McCain. Anyway.
I love that.
The princess of Arizona.
No, so I think about, like, you know, Kate. See, this is a thing. It's so uniquely American, where we literally, I hate when people do that. I apologize. We are taught, we grow up with, we are raised with the idea that we can be anything. We can be a girl from I don't know where, and now you're in Buckingham Palace, right, having tea with the Queen. Right. So you know what I mean? Like the multitude of possibilities that Americans have, where in England it's not the same. Some
you don't
people
think so?
No. The only reason I say this because my stepdad was British, and the one unique thing that I remember, conversation, because there's a little bit of cultural divide. I remember the biggest footnote that I took from our conversations was, what's so wonderful about America is that you literally have the possibility to do and be anything, where in Europe we know we can't. We could never be in Kensington Palace. We could never be at Buckingham Palace. We could never be in line for the throne. You know what I mean? Things like that, where in America, like, I can be president if I really wanted to. I can be on a rocket at NASA if I really want. I can be a neurosurgeon if I really wanted to. Where that's so uniquely us. And I think when it comes to Kate, she has such
she worked for that. Like
she was grown. Can you imagine? Put through the rigors for 10 years dating, and she has a separate respect for the royals and the whole protocol. She has a different, and she has to live by a different standard.
Right.
Completely. She has the 4th, 5th, and 6th in line for the throne, right, that she gave birth to. It's very different. Where Meghan is like, I don't want to say she doesn't respect, but it's not in the same vein. She doesn't have, she already is breaking protocol because she, I don't want to say
I'm going to wear a bun. I'm going to wear a bun. What are you going to do about it?
Exactly. What are you going to do? Nothing. There's nothing. You can't take away what's already been given to me anyway. And what? So you take it away? Then what do? I go back on Suits and I'm still going to live my life. It is what it is. Where Kate doesn't have the same. So I can see where there's a bit of a divide within a palace. I get it. But at the same time, you're going to send them mofos to the continent of Africa all over it?
Of all places. I mean, Africa.
But didn't Princess Diana have a foundation out there? Or?
So in Botswana, apparently, is where, you know, they have their strongest ties. And that's where, the place where Princess Diana Princess Diana would go to after, you know, she left the palace or whatever. And she'd go there for her sanctuary. Mm-hmm. And so that became a dear place to Harry and William, right, more so Harry, and that's where him and Meghan would go as well. It's like that's
right.
But it's like Africa, you'll banish them to a whole nother continent.
Can they do that?
If they tell them your work is there, I mean that's part of their job, yeah.
Right. So it's like a company.
Why not Canada?
But it's so funny, like, you know, we've been working for companies, and we've been like this is the division you're going to be working with right now. Right. It is what it is. Right. So your division just happens to be.
You want to keep this money? You want to
keep this money?
You go to Texas. You know, with
God,
us it's like. It's not. Well, no, there are people. It's like, you know, you think about like the military.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, you're going to be stationed in Okinawa.
Yeah.
Okinawa? Well, give me a map. You know what I mean?
Where's Okinawa?
You know, you go to Germany. You know, like, yeah. So it's what's the difference?
It's their job.
Right. I never thought of it that way. I ain't trying to go to Okinawa.
They'll be all right.
But so it prompted me to what I initially started this trending segment with. Has there ever been something where, okay, so you have a new relationship, okay? You think about like somebody you dated in the past, or even your current spouse. I mean, think about it, it's been a long time since y'all started dating. But did that relationship in the beginning, the newness of it, change the dynamic of other relationships and cause you to kind of make drastic changes, or other people to make drastic changes?
I like to think not, but I'm sure I did.
Okay, thanks for sharing.
I think about like I have a family member who feels entitled to my time during holidays, and whenever I have the desire to share my time, it's just ain't gonna work, and it has caused quite a lot of rifts.
Right. So
I'll say yeah, in that respect, yeah. And I'm also not.
Do you think that's drastic? Because it's drastic for them or drastic for you?
For me, because I'm not a good communicator when it comes to things like that. I just don't want to argue. I don't want to have a back and forth. So I just stay silent, but it affects other things. It's like a domino effect. Right. So it's one of those like, why is Marisa acting this way? Why is she leaving now? Why does she do this? Why does she do that? And I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been in a relationship that kind of caused other relationships to change. You know, it may have changed me a little bit, but I'm not sure. Like with this situation with the Royals, it's basically Harry was with his brother and sister-in-law all the time.
Yeah,
he finds somebody else because he has a new relationship. He has to drastically make a change, and that means moving.
I don't understand that.
In order to preserve the relationship in the future.
That's odd to me. Something else is going on.
It don't sound right, right?
Don't sound right. But do you also see those cheating allegation rumors?
I know you were speaking about it prior to us.
What's his name?
With William, right?
Yes. There's cheating allegations. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Dun, 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 dun.
Aren't there always cheating allegations though?
Yeah, but she was pregnant though, Holmes.
Yeah, that's a little tough right there.
Yeah, that's the thing, that while she was pregnant and with her friend.
Do you think that's true?
No.
Why not?
But yes.
You want to bring it up, but it's not true?
No, I don't know if it was her friend, but you know what? There's a piece of me that's like, maybe he was a little too, because he seems a little too Peter Perfect. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they always like, why is she always so perfect? Why does she always sit the right way? Why does she always have the best dress on, the perfect coat?
Because she's assuming a role.
But that's what I'm saying. Has that taken a toll on her personal relationship with her significant other? He put her through the effing ringer, Holmes. Through the ringer. They get married. She has all this effing protocol. Like, people, like, they couldn't even let her revel in the fact that she had a baby. It was like, she comes out here in 20-inch heels, looking perfect, in her stupid-ass dress, on the front steps of whatever hospital.
Yep.
It's like, but if she didn't do that, then y'all have a problem. If she didn't look the way she did, then y'all have a problem. If she didn't have the tiniest waist, if she didn't sit the right way, if she didn't have her phaser on, plus her little bag that matched her coat with her $300,000 wardrobe a year, you'd have a problem with it. So, but there's also that takes a toll.
I mean, I don't feel bad for her because she knew what she was signing up for.
She did, to a degree.
No, because she was dating him
for 10 effing years.
So imagine, like, you knew it's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah.
Like, if they're following you around now.
Yeah, it's going to get worse.
And his mother died because of the paparazzi. So you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
You're basically taking her place in a lot of ways.
And they're constantly.
And you're going to have the future king.
And queens.
No, well,
kings and queens, yeah.
I'm saying before she got pregnant, like, you're going to have the first in line.
Yeah.
After your husband.
Well, father-in-law. husband, father-in-law, husband.
What
Then
do you
your
mean father? Well, I mean first in line after your husband.
Yeah.
That's what it's
The
like.
third in line to the throne is what I'm saying.
It just.
But I think about too, like you see how they're always like doing like, oh, when Princess Diana went to this, she wore that. Now she's borrowing Princess Diana's favorite tiara. Blah blah blah. I don't know, man.
I hope he's not. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he was cheating. I hope he's not. But there's just something about him that seems. All of a sudden he went from happy-go-lucky to like he's so rigid. But he has to be. He's probably been training
his whole life.
Yeah, and it's like this is gonna. You think to yourself like, where is the?
And
you don't see that smile no more.
But he also saw the whole like the relationship his mom and dad had because of all of this.
Right.
And he wanted to make sure he was doing the best thing for his spouse. I don't know. He just there was a lot of calculated moves. Hopefully he made all the right ones that work out for them.
You know what? That TV show on Netflix, The Queen, is the worst. Because you really believe it.
Yeah, right.
Like this. Did you watch any of it?
Not yet.
It tells a story of Queen Elizabeth, and her sister and everybody, how she came to be queen and all that stuff. And her sister, they were like just two schoolgirls friends, and then she became queen and she changed. She started making these rules and regulations, and I feel like this is what they're prepping him for.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why the relationship with his brother has become different. They said that that is calculated, that they're really not. There is no rift, but they have to be separate. They have to separate from each other because he is going to be the leader.
Right.
You have to. You can't give the.
You can't be seen as somebody who has
we're equals. They're running this together.
No.
You can't.
He's the future king of England.
And you're a prince.
And he will be king.
Right.
Who knows if his dad will. You see this bitch is 93 years old? She looks better than me.
What is in their water?
What is in the tea is the question.
Because they be sleeping with each other.
Tamika.
Am I wrong?
I don't know.
You go back to their lineage.
I get it. But this bitch is 93.
I know. Her mother was like 100 and something when she died.
My grandfather-in-law is 93. He's pretty solid though. One of them.
Ain't he from that royal family?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
Ew. My husband has two grandfathers, 193, 192. They're both pretty solid, I have to say.
Right.
But they ain't running no country.
And their wives, God bless the dead, but they lived a good life.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to always say, the Bible says you're promised 70. Anything after is a bonus.
Damn.
So if you live to 70, it's like...
It's good.
It's good. But what about the people that died before 70? What happened to them?
Maybe it was extra good? That's what I'd like to think.
What do you mean extra good?
Maybe their life was extra good? Well,
their life is okay.
Oh
no. Anyway, you wanted to mention something else on the trend. You had brought it up. There's another topic that you had mentioned that you wanted to discuss as well.
So,
do you remember what it was?
Yes. So I'm Catholic.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I went to church on Easter Sunday.
Okay.
My priest, or the priest that was doing the eulogy at that time. Is it called the eulogy? Yeah,
no,
the
eulogy is when you die.
Right?
Not sermon?
The sermon.
Okay.
I still think it's called a eulogy.
Eulogy is at a
when
funeral.
He was talking,
okay.
When he was yapping at the congregation, he brought up the Sri Lanka attacks. He brought up 3 black churches. His words, 3 black churches, the Sri Lanka terrorist attack, and then he brought up Notre Dame, whatever, last. And he said, we're praying for everything. We do pray for Notre Dame, but at the same time, we understand the financials of the Catholic Church, and thank God no one was hurt. That will be rebuilt. But I want to bring light and note. And the church was really silent. But Catholic churches usually are.
They're always quiet.
They're very, very quiet. But it made me...
the cameras, we see people's faces.
But I did look around because I was like, "Ooh, this is a bunch of white folks. What's gonna happen here? Is he gonna be here next Sunday?" And I looked around, and it was just like he was asking them to pray for peace for the attack.
That can't be a bad thing, though.
No, not at all.
For other people.
But that's what I'm like. Oh, does he listen to the podcast? But it made me.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
You never know. You never know.
You don't know who's listening, girl.
Exactly.
Only a handful. Shout out to y'all that are listening. Holla.
But it made me. It was definitely a moment of pride because it was such an inclusionary thing, and it wasn't just like. And he said, we have to think of people to give peace in their hearts for people that number one have been hurt. But people that are in a position to hurt others, you need to pray for healing of their heart. But for him to just bring up, like
specifically
the Sri Lankan attacks and 3 black churches that were burned. He said 3 black churches. He didn't do the African American thing. He said 3 black churches.
You know how I feel about that.
And me too. And I know I make other people uncomfortable because they're like, "Do you mean African American?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know if they're from Africa."
Right.
And I give the look. He said 3 black churches. He made mention about Notre Dame, but it was more like, thankfully we got a lot of things out.
They good.
They good.
They will rebuild.
They will rebuild.
Let me ask you this. You have several white Catholic people in your family,
Mm-hmm.
majority.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a conversation with any of them about the church service? Or is this conversation just relegated to me?
This conversation is only relegated to you because as I wanted to talk about it, it was Easter Sunday and something else put a craw in my anger.
I only say this because I always wonder, like I know we have these open dialogues, conversation, each week, mm-hmm. but I would hope that it helps you to open up
to other
people. I don't want to.
Yeah, but I'm also very. I don't know how to explain this because here I'm trying to talk on a podcast and have people listen. I'm very shy, reserved, and quiet. I might speak, but I'm not really saying much to people. And I'm very, very quiet, and I'm introverted, but I'm vocal.
The thing about it, though, this is my own opinion, and you decided to do a podcast with me, so you're gonna listen to it. Gonna listen today. The thing about it is that you have children who are in the lives of these people.
Yeah.
And so sometimes by expressing your thoughts mm-hmm. or not expressing your thoughts, mm-hmm. you leave them with an opinion one way or the other, or how they can interact with your children.
Yeah.
When you're not there.
Yeah.
So if your kid, say we're having this conversation about the black churches and the Sri Lankan churches and a church and Notre Dame. What if, we're having this open dialogue, what if they have a conversation with them and it's only about one thing and your kids never learn the importance of all of history?
Yeah.
It's just something sometimes if you share your opinions and your thoughts, then other people know how to interact with the people that matter the most to your children.
Yeah.
Know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
And aren't gonna use language or rhetoric that you don't feel like, black, African American,
yeah, Puerto,
Hispanic,
Latin,
Latino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna and then your kid's gonna come, and you're like, well, of course they're gonna say that because you never told them that. You never let these people know that you had a problem with this, that, or the other. And I'm just talking just about this particular topic, but it could be anything. Just something to give food for thought in the future. Don't be shy about your thoughts. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I will start posting stuff and tagging both of us. This is what Marissa thinks about you, and you. Guess who she's talking about? Hashtag. Yup. Yes. Anyway.
Oh my word.
Good show. You want to give a shout out to anybody?
No.
Any of our listeners?
Morning Dew,
shout out.
El Gato,
shout out. That's it.
Oh. Lieutenant Colonel Awesome.
Holler.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service and your time and dedication to the podcast. Everybody out there,
I have to say, I will say this. So we call him Lieutenant. I call him Lieutenant Colonel Awesome.
Yeah, that's not you.
Yeah, but as he's moved with ranks, like Captain Awesome and Major Awesome, we're the best.
Okay.
Lieutenant Colonel Awesome, it doesn't have the same roll off the tongue.
Whenever I hear Colonel, I think of popcorn.
Right?
So,
Lieutenant Colonel.
But shout out to you.
Awesome.
You know who you are. Anyway, where can they find us, Marissa?
Yes 18 on Instagram and Twitter.
Holler, and they can download subscribe, review, rate, release on YouTube,
Podbean,
iTunes, TuneIn,
Alexa, tune in.
Yeah.
Alexa, play Yep Yeah Yes 18.
Well, you have to say, we discovered this
on
between.
TuneIn. Alexa,
Play the podcast.
play the podcast.
Yep, yeah, yes. On TuneIn.
On TuneIn.
Hopefully nobody's playing this. Alexa, play the podcast. Yep, yeah, yes. On TuneIn. Anyway.
All right, homie.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.
You're enough.
Oh, thank you. Catch you next time. Yep, yeah, yeah.
Bye.